Hey, so it looks like nothing of interest came out this week, so I'm going to take this time to review something I saw like 2 weeks ago and actually really enjoyed. It might seem a bit unorthodox and also more than a bit pointless, but according to the movie's website, it still hasn't come to most of the United States yet, so there's a fairly good chance that I've seen it and you haven't. And frankly, I knew it was something special when the person across the ticket counter at the theater informed me that I was literally the only person in my entire city to see it during the week it was here. I refer, of course, to the title of the video. I mean The Red Turtle. The Red Turtle is an animated film co-produced by the renowned Japanese animation team at Studio Ghibli and a French animation team headed by legendary short film director Michael Dudou-de-Witt. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I'm probably not, but oh well. It features absolutely zero dialogue and tells the story of a man who washes ashore on a deserted island and in his attempts to escape back to civilization is confronted by the titular Red Turtle, whereupon things get really interesting. Look, to say much about the plot past the 30-minute mark would reasonably be interpreted as spoilers, but let's just say it's probably not what you're thinking. However, with no words, the Red Turtle relies on its visuals to tell the story, which is great because the visuals are fucking amazing. The actual style is this sort of hybrid between anime and that European children's storybook animation from movies like Ernest and Celestine and that old Watership Down movie. Fortunately, the Red Turtle contains significantly less lagomorphic disembowelment than Watership Down, and it turns its animated efforts towards bringing to life the aforementioned island and its various inhabitants. As to be expected from anything Studio Ghibli is even remotely involved in, there's a definitive baseline of animation quality that it would be impossible for them to go under even if they tried, but with the help from the French, the visuals go above and beyond in this film. The movement is superbly fluid and there's just enough detail distributed throughout the environment to not only bring it to life, but also emphasize its interaction with the main character. And for you animation junkies out there, the texturing, shadows, and line work are all some of the best I've ever seen. But what really helps this one stand out to me is that it had quite possibly the best sound design I've ever heard in an animated film. Now I know this won't matter to like 95% of people, but bad sound design in an animated film, especially in one that heavily features water, can completely destroy its authenticity. In an animated movie that has shit Foley work or sound mixing, I can't help but be taken out of the story's universe, and I'm no longer following a seamless story. I'm just watching a series of landscape shots or still frames of a computer simulation while some random douchebag off screen holds a microphone to a running tap. The fact that truly atmospheric sounds are so difficult to artificially replicate makes it all the more noteworthy when the filmmakers actually put in the effort required to pull it off, and The Red Turtle is probably the best example I can think of. And sure, the technical achievements alone make this movie worth recommending, but the narrative is the proverbial ribbon on the present, keeping everything tightly contained and focused, and the movie is fantastic in that respect as well. Using just the visuals, The Red Turtle manages to be one of those rare movies where the scope actually widens as the film goes on. But unlike other films that have tried and failed to do that, The Red Turtle builds gradually to that conclusion instead of going full retard and trying to stuff everything of importance into the last 15 minutes. From the outset, The Red Turtle manages to explore the themes of man's insignificance to nature, man's cooperation with nature, man's cooperation with man, marriage, familial relationships, faith and spirituality, no really, abandonment, loss, reconciliation, unconditional love, forgiveness, and ultimately just a good old-fashioned meditation on the nature of life and reason for existence. It's a time-honored "the journey is more important than the destination" story, but it's one of those done absolutely right, where the first and most obvious explanation that certain events are occurring entirely within the main character's head is both a perfectly acceptable and relatively inconsequential interpretation because the world is fully realized and the story is compelling regardless. Despite the occasional visual hiccup and the decision to end virtually every scene with a fade to black being the only reason why this movie is longer than an hour to begin with, I cannot recommend The Red Turtle enough. It was one of the most unique and moving cinematic experiences I've had the pleasure of seeing, and it was also totally better than Zootopia no matter what Haley Steinfeld says. If you have the chance, go see it and support some of the most talented animated filmmakers working today. You will not regret it.